The 40th edition of the Interior Savings Western Canada Basketball Tournament here at KSS, coming February 7, 8, and 9. The two brains behind the tournament, Don Walker, Dave Reynolds, joining us. And Dave, let's look at this 40th celebration, if you will. Is there something special happening for the 40th anniversary?
Well, hopefully we're going to get a win for the KSS Owls, but as far as the, we're just going to be celebrating the history throughout the weekend of the tournament. I mean, like you said, it's been 40 years. It's an institution here at the school, and we're just planning to enjoy it.
What's planning like, Don? You've been around for a while now with these tournaments. It's the 40th anniversary. Does it become easier with time?
I started off just as one of the helpers here, running some of the special events, the Power 104 Slam Dunk and the Big Kahuna 3-point contest. It gets easier just in the fact that it's more familiar, but it's always hard, who do we want for the following year, and, because you have to sort of look into a bit of a crystal ball, which teams are doing well this year, and, are they mostly grade 11s, 10s? Is there tradition at that school? And making sure that we can bring in what we sort of think might be the top 8 teams from Western Canada.
What is the process like then? When you look into that crystal ball, is there a couple of teams on your radar already going into next year and the year after that and the year after that, as far as ages of kids and what the kind of history is, Don said?
Coach Harry Parmar does a really good job. He travels a lot with his team and he gets to see a lot of basketball. And he gives us a lot of good information as to who's going to be good. And then it's just up to us to talk about it and to plan out what looks good for years to come. I mean, we get teams that come to us also. It's not just us going to them. But all in all, it's a process that is a lot of fun, and the tournament is a lot of fun, and we just look to bring in the best caliber of team that we can find out there.
4 teams from outside of BC this year, 2 from Manitoba, specifically right in the Winnipeg area. Why there?
We had a couple teams from Saskatchewan lined up. They didn't want to travel out here and sort of play against each other. And then as we were approaching the Winnipeg teams, back in last spring, they figured that they would be able to come out here and compete. I think they're hoping for this as sort of a litmus test for them as they then head back and play in their own provincials. They find the BC sort of caliber of basketball is a little bit higher, a little more in-your-face aggressively defense. So they like their teams to know that, hey, there's another level that you guys can achieve.
What have you guys seen as far as growth in this tournament, other than the longer shorts in the last 40 years and the competition, the athletes getting bigger, stronger, faster? How have you seen it grow?
We've done a lot, I think, as far as involving the community, bringing in other groups and organizations to sort of to share the wealth a little bit. And it's a big tournament, and we want to involve the community as much as possible. One of our, our major sponsor, Interior Savings, does a lot as far as community awareness and community involvement. And another one of our sponsors, Chris Adaptive Adventures, we wanted to bring them in because what they do is they build devices for people who are disabled, and they're able to go and kayak or hike. And we decided to bring them in because they're a good organization, and we just simply want to sort of share the wealth a little bit.
Last question for both of you. Your most memorable moment over the last few years. You've probably had a chance to look back. You said you've been celebrating, or you're going to celebrate the history of the tournament. Can you pinpoint one, Don?
Oh, it's hard to put it down to anything in specific. I mean, last year our final obviously was #1 at the time, ranked in BC, the Owls, taking on #1 ranked out of Alberta, the Harry Ainley Titans. I mean, so as an organizer, I mean, that's sort of your dream when you can have the 2 top teams, make it to your final, and I mean, it was a close battle all the way through. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win. That, and I can always remember certain specifics out of some of the slam dunk contests, but just watching the energy in the place year after year, it's amazing. There is a whole big basketball fan base here in Kelowna. It's not just our crazy Owls, from KSS that are on the baseline. Yeah. There's a lot of fans here.
Dave, most memorable moment?
I can get specific. I think it was 2 years ago, semifinal. Mitch Goodwin, our point guard, had his nose broken sort of early in the second half, and he got patched up and came back with gauze stuffed in both nostrils and led the Owls to victory to get us into the final. I'll remember that one for a long time. That was a gutsy effort.
Guys, thanks for doing this. Dave Reynolds and Don Walker, the 40th anniversary of the Interior Savings Western Canada Basketball Tournament coming to KSS February 7th through 9th. Thanks for watching.